ever get one of those like totally brutal work evaluations? The kind that makes you just want to like crawl under your desk and disappear.
Yeah.
Or like get in a huge fight with a friend and then suddenly you're questioning the whole relationship.
Absolutely, yeah.
We've all been there, right?
We have. That's just life.
Right. So that's what we're diving into today.
Okay.
We're going to jump into CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy.
Yeah.
We're going to use these fascinating practice exercises we have.
Okay.
You've probably heard about CBT, I'm sure.
Right.
But this isn't just like a therapist's buzzword. This is really going to be, I think, helpful for people.
I think so, too. It can really change your life. It really helps you understand how your thoughts influence your feelings and your behaviors, and then it gives you the tools to actually change those things.
Yeah. Yeah, and like how to actually change them.
Right.
That's the important part, right?
It is.
One thing to like have a therapist tell you to do it,
Right.
but it's another thing to like actually, okay, how?
Exactly.
Give me the tools.
Yeah. And it all starts with this thing called the cognitive model,
Okay.
which is, it sounds very complicated, but it's actually really simple. It just means that like every event
Okay.
triggers a thought,
Okay.
which then leads to an emotion, which then leads to a behavior.
Okay, so let's use that work evaluation as an example.
Okay.
So the event is getting that like really bad evaluation.
Right.
What happens next?
So then the thought comes in. So you get that evaluation and you have a thought about it. You might think, oh, I'm terrible at my job. My boss hates me. And then that thought makes you feel a certain way. It triggers an emotion.
Okay.
So you might feel anxious. You might feel ashamed. You might feel angry.
Yeah.
And then based on how you feel, you act a certain way.
Right, so if you're feeling super anxious, you might just like avoid talking to your boss.
Exactly.
At all costs.
Yep. Or if you're angry, you might fire off a really angry email.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Backlash. So that's the behavior.
Okay.
But here's the thing, and this is like the important part.
Okay.
We actually have a lot more control over that middle part,
Okay.
our thoughts, than we realize.
Okay, that makes sense.
So CBT is all about recognizing those thoughts and then reframing them
Okay.
to create more positive emotions and then hopefully better behavior.
More constructive behaviors.
Yes. Does that make sense?
That makes a ton of sense. But how does this actually like play out in real life?
Okay, well, let's look at this scenario from this worksheet.
Okay.
So we have Jason and Kurt.
Okay.
They both get a negative evaluation at work.
Oh, no.
Same situation,
All right.
but they have totally different reactions
Okay.
because of their thoughts.
Okay. Hit me with it. So Jason was going through his mind.
Jason's thinking like, ugh, I can't do anything right. I'm going to get fired.
Oh my gosh, he went straight to worst case scenario.
Right. Like immediately.
Yeah.
And so you can imagine that thought is leading him down a very specific path.
Totally. I can practically see the gears turning as he's like picturing packing up his desk.
Well, right. Exactly.
Classic negative thought spiral.
Yeah.
Like we were just talking about.
Exactly.
Okay, so he's spiraling. What happens?
Well, he's having all this anxiety. He might even be feeling ashamed.
Right.
And so what does he do?
What does he do?
He avoids his boss.
Ugh. Which is probably just making the whole situation worse.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's funny how it actually becomes this self-fulfilling prophecy.
Totally, totally. Okay, so that's Jason. He's in a bad way. Now, Kurt. Kurt's our guy, right?
Kurt's got that.
Kurt's got it together. So Kurt sees the same thing.
Same evaluation.
And what's his reaction?
Kurt's thinking, okay, I messed up. I need to figure out how to improve.
Okay, so he's not pretending everything's perfect.
No.
But he's also not, like, totally freaking out.
Right. He's choosing a more helpful thought.
Oh, I like that. Choosing a more helpful thought.
Yes. He's acknowledging the problem, but he's not catastrophizing it.
Yeah.
So how does he feel? Maybe a little disappointed,
Yeah, I'd say so.
but also motivated
Yeah.
to do better.
Okay.
So what does he do? He talks to his boss.
Good.
He asks for feedback.
Yes.
And you know what? His work improves
Wow.
because of that.
So it's like they're choosing different lenses
Exactly.
to view the same situation.
Yes.
And one is making him run and hide, and the other one is making him, like, take action.
Yes. And this applies to all different kinds of situations, not just work.
Of course, yeah.
Let's look at like a friendship,
Okay.
like a friendship gone wrong.
Ooh.
This is Gwen and Shirley.
Okay, lay it on me.
So Gwen and her friend have this big fight.
Okay.
And Gwen's immediate thought is, we always argue.
Mm-hmm.
She never sees my side.
Yep, been there.
Classic.
100%. Those always and nevers, those are like relationship kryptonite.
They are.
Right.
They're like instant
Poison.
relationship poison.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's what we call all or nothing thinking.
Right.
Black and white thinking.
Okay.
And it's so common. We all do it.
Yeah.
But the problem is it makes us feel more angry.
Mm.
We feel hopeless. And we're way less likely to actually want to fix it.
Right, because if it's always your fault,
Right.
or it's never going to change,
Right.
why even bother?
Exactly. So Gwen's probably not going to be picking up the phone to apologize anytime soon.
No, probably not. But Shirley, on the other hand, what's she thinking?
So Shirley's
He's like, wait a minute.
okay, that was rough. We can both be stubborn sometimes.
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 Okay.
You see how that little word sometimes changes everything?
It does, because it's not denying that there's a problem.
Right.
It's just not making it this like unsolvable, horrible thing.
Right. It's acknowledging the pattern
Right.
without making it permanent.
Right.
So how does Shirley feel?
How's Shirley feeling?
Probably a little regretful, honestly,
Okay.
but also forgiving.
Okay.
So she can focus on fixing the relationship.
Instead of dwelling in the negativity.
Yes.
I love that. Okay, so we can already see how these different thought patterns are going to play out, right?
Right.
Because Gwen is like stewing,
Yeah.
and Shirley is ready to like kick up the phone and talk about it.
Exactly. And it's not about pretending everything's perfect.
Right.
It's not about ignoring the problem.
Right.
It's about catching those negative thoughts, those extreme thoughts,
Yeah.
and just choosing a more balanced perspective.
Right.
And that, my friend, is reframing.
Reframing. Okay, I'm ready to put this into practice. What about you?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so listeners, are you ready to put this into practice?
Yeah.
Because we are going to do the You Try It section of this CBT worksheet,
Okay.
where we take some scenarios and we actually try to reframe them.
Yeah, this is where the rubber meets the road.
Yes, exactly. I love that. Okay, so first scenario throws us right into the driver's seat. So you're driving along, minding your own business, and some jerk cuts you off.
Road rage time.
Yeah.
Happens to everybody.
It's like that instant, like, adrenaline, anger, like, hey.
Total primal response.
Totally. And so the worksheet gives us Emily.
Okay.
Emily's our driver in this situation.
Okay.
And her thought is, what a jerk. They don't care about anybody but themselves. I could have crashed.
It's very true. Very true.
Right. Like, that's a very normal reaction.
It's a human reaction. We're wired to, protect ourselves.
Right.
And so in that moment,
Yeah.
it feels like a threat.
Totally.
But if she lets that thought fester,
What happens?
she's going to be seeing red the rest of her drive home.
Exactly.
Right? Like road rage is real.
Oh, yeah.
People get out and do things they regret.
Yeah.
So she might start driving aggressively,
Yeah.
honking, maybe try to cut that person off.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Retaliation.
Right.
And the thing is, that anger can linger.
Oh, yeah.
So she has a bad interaction on the road, and now she's
Just snowball.
in a bad mood. She's rude to the cashier.
Right.
It just snowballs.
Right, exactly. But what if
Yeah.
instead of going down that road rage rabbit hole,
Right.
what if she tries to reframe?
Okay.
Okay, so listeners, we want you to think about this too.
Yeah. Play along at home.
Yes. How could Emily view this situation differently?
Okay. So instead of that automatic thought, that jerk thought,
Mm-hmm.
what if she thinks of some other explanations? Instead of assuming the worst about that person.
Okay.
Like instead of, that jerk did this to me on purpose.
Right.
What if it's more like, wonder if something's going on?
Right, or like,
Is that their problem? Not mine.
maybe they're having a worse day than me.
Yeah, maybe they're rushing someone to the hospital.
Right, exactly.
God knows.
It doesn't make it okay to cut you off, but it
Oh,
also,
no.
you're not like, it's not a personal attack.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's not always about you.
It's not always about you.
This is good to remember in life in general.
Oh, that's like a whole other deep dive right there.
It is.
It's not always about you.
Yeah.
So now,
So her emotional state has completely changed, right?
right, because now instead of being angry, she might just be concerned.
Right.
She might even feel a little compassion.
Right. Which leads to a totally different behavior, right?
Yes.
She's not tailgating. She's like giving the person space.
Taking a deep breath,
Taking a deep breath.
letting it go.
Letting it go.
Yes.
Wow. So powerful.
It's literally like choosing a different path.
Yes.
At a fork in the road. One leads to anger and frustration. The other one leads to
Calm and understanding.
calm and understanding. I love it.
Yes.
Okay, you ready for another one?
Hit me.
Okay, this one, this is about relationships.
Okay.
So we have Travis.
Okay.
And Travis is noticing that his wife hasn't been helping around the house lately.
The joys of domesticity. Let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens. Okay, so tell us what's going on in Travis's mind.
Okay, so Travis is like, okay, those dishes are still there. Does she even care?
Mm-hmm.
She knows I'm just going to clean it up. So is she taking advantage of me?
Oh, that's loaded.
It's loaded.
Yeah.
There's a lot there.
Yeah.
Feeling unappreciated.
Yeah.
Resentful.
Yes.
Which we've all been there
Totally.
in a relationship at some point.
Oh, of course.
But, if he keeps thinking that.
Right. What's going to happen?
What do you think is going to happen? It's not going to be good. It's not going to be good.
Yeah.
He's going to be stewing in all of that resentment.
Yeah.
He's probably not going to talk to her about it.
Right.
He's going to give her the cold shoulder.
Oh, classic.
Maybe he'll even let the chores pile up more.
Oh, yeah. Passive aggressive.
Passive aggressive.
Yeah.
Just to prove a point.
Right. See, I'm doing all the work.
Exactly.
Right.
Which, of course, just makes him angrier.
Yes. It's a vicious cycle.
Vicious cycle.
So how do we help Travis out?
Okay, well, first, he's got to challenge that initial thought.
Okay.
She doesn't care.
Right.
Because what if there are other possibilities?
Hmm.
Maybe she's overwhelmed at work.
Right.
Maybe she's dealing with something personal, and she hasn't told him.
Right.
Maybe she doesn't feel good.
Right. Or maybe she just sucks at doing chores.
Maybe. Or maybe she assumes that he likes doing it. We don't know. But that's not the point.
Okay.
The point is
So what's the point?
to replace those assumptions with curiosity.
Okay.
So instead of she doesn't care,
Mm-hmm.
it's more like, I wonder what's going on. Is there
Yeah.
anything I can do to help?
Oh, that's nice.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, how different would that be?
Right. So his emotional state has completely changed.
Right. Now, instead of anger and resentment,
Mm-hmm.
he might feel concerned.
Okay.
He might feel empathetic towards his wife.
That's huge.
Right.
Which leads to a totally different behavior.
That's exactly.
He's not giving her the cold shoulder anymore. He's like, hey, is everything okay?
How was your day? You seem stressed. Can I help you with anything?
Yes. It all comes back to communication.
It does.
Right.
Communication is key.
Which, again, could be a whole other deep
We
dive.
should do a deep dive on communication.
I love it. Okay, last one. Last one from this worksheet. This is for all my overthinkers out there.
Okay.
So Regina, she gets invited to a party by an acquaintance.
Okay.
Fun, right?
Sounds fun.
But Regina's mind, it's like going into overdrive.
Oh, no. What's happened?
She's like, what if I don't know anyone there?
Classic.
What if I'm awkward?
Yep.
What if they only inviting me out of obligation?
Oh, yeah. The what ifs will get you every time.
Every time. It's that party anxiety, you know?
It's real.
It's real.
And it's so easy to let it paralyze you.
Right. So then what happens? She's like, no, I can't. I can't go.
She makes up some excuse, doesn't go,
Right. Stays home, misses out.
and misses out on a potential opportunity to connect with people.
Right. Because what if it was fun?
Exactly. What if she had a good time?
Right.
So how do we help Regina reframe this?
Yes. Let's help Regina out.
Okay. Well, instead of focusing on what could go wrong, what if she focused on what could go right?
Okay, I like it.
What if she thought of it as an opportunity
Okay.
to step outside her comfort zone,
Love it.
meet some new people,
Yeah.
maybe have some fun?
Have some fun.
Right. What if?
Yeah. Maybe she's going to meet her new best friend.
Right. Or maybe she's going to meet someone who works in her field.
Oh, networking. Yes. Okay, so now she's not thinking about all the negative stuff. She's like, okay, this could be cool.
This could be fun. This could be an adventure.
Yes.
Right.
So now her emotional state has changed from dread
Yes.
to excitement.
Excitement, anticipation.
She might actually have a really good time.
She might.
And that is how you turn a negative thought spiral into a positive, life-expanding experience.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, this whole thing has been so eye-opening.
Bro.
It's like we literally have the power to rewire our brains.
We do.
Like one thought at a time.
One thought at a time.
That's amazing.
And the coolest part is, the more you practice this, the easier it gets. You are literally building a mental muscle for a happier life.
I love it. It's like we have the superpower we never knew we had.
Would you?
So next time you're facing a challenge, big or small, remember, you have a choice.
You have a choice in how you respond. How do you want to feel?
Ooh, that's a good one.
What if you viewed every challenge as a chance to practice this?
Wow.
How would that change your life?
That's something to think about.
It is.
Well, that's our show. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of CBT
Yes.
and the power of reframing.
It's powerful stuff.
It is powerful stuff.
Mhm.
Until next time.
See you later.